insect like, specifically cockroaches. And my name is Haley. I'm a junior and a biology major and psychology double major.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm a junior and a biochemistry major.
I'm Allison. I'm a senior and a biochemistry major.
Hi, I'm Angela, and I am a junior and a biochemistry major.
So let's talk about some neurons. Alright, so we don't know quite how much you've learned about neurons and active potentials before. I'm just going to briefly go over it just to give an overview of what we're going to be covering today. So here's our lovely drawing of a neuron. At this end we have the nucleus and the cell body called the soma. And then all of these are dendrites, and they receive signals and other electrical and chemical input from other cells. When dendrites receive excitatory signals, that means that this area depolarizes or gets less negative. And when the axon hillock gets enough depolarization to reach threshold, then it sends an electrical signal called an action potential down this entire axon till it gets to the axon terminal. And in this area, the electric signal turns into a chemical signal in this type of a neuron and this type of synapse. And the chemical signal then induces another electrical signal in the next neuron. And so that's how they communicate. And so that's our very general and broad description of a neuron. Okay, now please answer question 1 on your worksheet.
Okay guys, so now that you've answered the first question, let's move on to the topic of music. So music is electrical waveforms, and when you're listening to music that's being produced by, let's say, a stereo, then you're basically listening to the waves that are coming out of the stereo and hitting the air around you, making vibrations. You're listening to vibrations. And that's really cool because waves are actually made of 2 components. You have your amplitude and you have your frequency. So amplitude of a sound wave is the size of the vibration. So the bigger the amplitude, the louder your music is. The smaller it is, the softer your music is. And frequency is the speed of the vibration. So the higher the frequency and the faster your waves are going, then the higher the tone is, and vice versa. In this picture that I'm showing you now, this is the low frequency graph, and as you can see, it's very spread apart, and this is the high frequency graph, and these are a lot closer together, these peaks. And then in this photo, you can see the low amplitude has very small peaks as compared to the high amplitude, where these peaks are going basically double the size of the low amplitude. Okay. Now I have this cool app pulled up, and I'm going to basically show you how, on my piano, if I play a low tone, you have these very slow waves being formed. And if I play a really high tone, they're a lot faster. And somewhere in the middle, it's a nice pace. Okay, so electricity from these music waves are going to be the electricity that stimulates our cockroach nerves and make our leg dance. Okay, so now answer question 2. Okay, so this is our biology building, and right now we're going to go into the lab to cut off a cockroach leg.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
In the refrigerator right now?
Probably.
Okay, so Stephanie and Angela are going to catch a cockroach, put it in the ice, and then trap it there, and then that slows down. Oh, there he goes. That'll make him calm down so it's easier to get the leg off.
Oh, here's my one. Okay.
Need it or not? Oh, that's
Just Jamie. You're not an endangered species.
This one? Yep.
actually either of those.
This one? Yeah, yep, that's a good one.
I'm not going to
It's high up to here.
the door or permanent.
Okay.
I'm sure they already live there.
That's a good one too.
Do you want to hold them at, yeah.
Okay. Somebody needs to bring the cake.
So, now to set up the experiment. First, we're going to plug our splitter cord into the headphone jack of whatever sound device you're using. In this case, we're using a laptop, but you can also use a desktop computer or a cell phone. Next, we're going to take headphones so we can hear the music being played and plug it into one of the splitter cables. We're then going to take our alligator clips, plug this into the splitter cables first, and then we're going to attach them to each of the pins. It doesn't matter which pin you put, which alligator clip you put on which pin. You just attach it like so. Now you don't need to have the headphones to play, it's just cool to listen to the jam as the leg's moving. So let's have a house party. And sometimes the leg doesn't move, and that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty cool movement. It's got like a nice slide.
Cockroach interpretive dance.
Okay, so how can we use electrical signals to stimulate nerves in our own bodies? It turns out that electrical signals are what cause us to perceive pain because they go through, they start from our sensory neurons and they go through our spinal cord and into our brain. So one way to prevent this from happening is to introduce other stimulus and signals. So many athletes and people with chronic muscle pain will use this treatment called transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, which is what you see a picture of here. And what you do is that you attach electrodes to the areas where you feel pain and will send pulses of electrical gradients through your nerves, and that's going to cause a tickling and tingling sensation within your nerves. And so these impulses will interfere with the electrical signals that go through your spinal cord and into your brain, and therefore diminish any feeling of pain for a short amount of time.
Okay, so we want you to answer questions 5 and 6 on your worksheet. We're going to be talking about them and discussing some possible answers, but we want to make sure that you guys have a chance to just think through them by yourself first. So make sure to pause after we ask the question.
So question 5, what differences did you observe in the Cockroach Leg if you changed songs? Pause the video here to write down and discuss. So, some differences that I observed were different joints of the leg would move, and depending on how fast the music was going, was the leg of the speed had some correlation to that. My favorite part was like when there's a slide in the music, the leg would kind of slide with it.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes if it was a very high-pitched song, the leg wouldn't move at all, which is kind of interesting. So you definitely have to have those low tones.
Yep, and it seemed like you like to tap along with the drums if you kind of listen carefully to that. That was really cool. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on to question number 6. Why do you think the music makes the cockroach leg dance? What about the music? So pause here to answer the question. So now that you've had a chance to talk about it, so what I talked about earlier was that music is actually electrical waves. And so just like we told you how neurons talk to each other, they with like electrical signals, the music acted as the electrical signal for the neurons within the cockroach leg, and that's basically how they communicate, and it was really cool. So
Hopefully you guys had some luck, hopefully not too many struggles.
Definitely you could see that our first leg did not work at all, and we adjusted electrodes, we tried a lot of things, then we just got a fresh leg and tried again. So hopefully it's gone well for you all. Make sure to check our troubleshooting instructions or ask your teacher for more help if it's still not kicking.
okay, thanks guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.